Brosplay! I just heard a really great... That's really loud in my ear. I just heard a really funny... No, a really good thing. I'm not paying attention.
You can just smart the fuck up!
Welcome back to BJ 2020 Scout. I read a thing, Louis C.K. quote from his show. And if that guy wasn't funny, he would easily have been just as successful as a philosopher, I'm sure.
And if not, he'd be in prison.
Okay, alright.
Well, some of the things he said, if they weren't funny, would just be horribly mean and offensive.
Oh, that's what you mean, okay.
Most comedians, if they weren't funny, would probably be in prison.
Possibly. Especially with our offended laws. Fuck. And,
Let's not go there.
Okay. His daughter in the show says, she got more than me, it's not fair. And he said, not everything in life is fair. And the only reason you should ever look in your neighbor's plate is to make sure they have enough, not to make sure that you have as much as them. And it was just like, it gave me such a warm feeling that somebody came up with that, such an elegantly said statement. And it's like, if we all just operated under those, we'd all be fine. That was a weird sidewalk.
Yeah, that bridge is not so...
Your wheels are partly through this bridge, eh?
Are they?
Yeah.
Like at the moment?
Oh, yeah. Like
They do kind of look like it.
Oh, they're definitely... Oh, yeah. A guy at work said the other day, he said something about, like, he was doing something for himself. And I said, like, put this away for other people. And he says, I'm gonna do stuff for me, and everyone else is gonna do stuff for them. It's all good. Like, that's the problem with the world, is that we're all looking at it like, I'm gonna do this for me. Don't worry about it. Everyone else has themselves in their best interest, and that's not true.
I think it should be the exact opposite. I think you should both be looking out for, like, not from what you said, from what he said. Everyone should be looking out for themselves and for everybody else.
Yep.
But no one should ever expect others to look out for them. That's when you've got a problem. Sorry.
She recommends artillery here, but I don't know if you want to spend that.
Oh, I'm jammed.
Oh.
I'm Kool-Aid jammed.
Oh.
And no, that joke is
Kool-Aid.
never gonna get old.
Kool-Aid. When I first made the joke, I was just trying to, like...
How dare you not go down.
Bring back something that I said when we originally played this, like 10 years ago.
Ages ago.
And, I really didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I actually thought that you missed it, and I was like, well, I'll just let it go.
I did miss it. I actually picked it up from rewatching these episodes. Because I heard it, and I was like, oh, that was really funny. Then it got made again.
It's good stuff. I used to drink Kool-Aid Jammers every day. That's why I thought that.
They're good shit, man.
Yeah, you know what's also really good shit? Fanta. It's like carbonated, extremely sweet orange juice.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the Fanta Orange? Mm-hmm. You ever had the Phantom cream soda?
Phantom cream soda. No.
It's just as damn good, man.
I heard, and I haven't confirmed this, that Fanta was created by Coca-Cola.
Take cover!
For Nazis. Because they didn't want to sell Coca-Cola to Nazis because there could end up being a photograph in circulation of Nazis holding Coca-Cola.
Coke products.
It's just a thing I heard from a person who probably got it from the internet, so just take that with a...
So it's a probably not true thing, but...
Take that with a grain of Fanta. Good shot.
I'm not doing very well against this tank.
Good shot. Good show!
Because I can't actually see anything.
If that wasn't such a generic term that other people have already used, I would have loved to call the show Good Show. Good
Show. Yeah, that actually would be a great name. It's like there's a band from like back in the 70s called The Band.
There was a lot of thes in the 70s. The Who, The Clash, the Guess Who, the Led Zeppelin,
The Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones. The Led Zeppelin.
One of the only examples that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Support is now available again.
That's an have you seen that one of their covers is the Hindenburg?
Yeah.
Collapsing. That's
because that's actually where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
like Led Zeppelin is literally a reference to a Zeppelin made out of lead.
Yeah. Well, somebody referred to the Hindenburg as a Led Zeppelin.
No, someone referred to their band as they said like, oh, you guys are really gonna try this because like rock wasn't really a thing, right? And they said, oh, you guys are really gonna try this because like rock wasn't really a thing, right? And they
Oh,
said,
you're gonna
like, you're going to
fail.
try this? You guys are going to go down like a Led Zeppelin.
I thought it was going to be because you guys are so heavy.
I don't think they were that symbolic or clever back then. No offense to the people of the time.
No, I think that they invented symbology.
Symbology.
So what is the symbology of the situation?
See, normally you build artillery in a position where it can't be turned around like this.
Yeah, even Canadians in like 18-something figure that shit out.
Well, I feel like the first people to ever invent massive explosive weaponry figured it out. Like, oh, what happens if this turns around?
Ooh, that was very that felt very responsive. I wasn't playing, but that felt very very nice.
Yeah, it is. Like these things fire really well. I don't know if you can move them. I think you have to get off the gun in order to actually. And they're obviously not very accurate.
Cliffy B of Gears of War said it best. It's all about the feel.
It is all about the feel.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's truly important.
That's why I love when people talk about the graphics. They're like, "Oh, look how good these graphics are." It's like, yeah, but is it a good thing?
What does it feel like?
It's like, look how great this album cover is. The music's garbage. Like, this doesn't really matter to me. We both fell for that. We both thought that you had rockets there.
Yeah. This guy's so low. It's almost there.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Ugh.
Go lower. Go lower.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so low. How can I not get him? You know what? I'm actually going to see if I can just shoot him.
I love how the music or the
I think I got him.
The sound of the
I got him.
helicopter keeps bugging out.
I got him!
Good landing. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently only one side you can get in.
Yeah, you can only hijack it from that side, too.
Beautiful.
They're really going to try and take me down now. Oh, such an intense weapon.
Whoa.
Such an intense weapon. And this
Oh,
one doesn't have, like, any health left.
I'm really impressed. That is such a neat idea that you could have bullets so powerful that they can kill a tank.
Well, you know what Hellfire rounds are, right?
They are on fire?
No, they're incendiaries. They explode on contact. But you fire them like they're automatic
I just want to
weapons.
explode on contact.
Nope.
You could use that as a compliment, right?
What?
It's like, hey girl.
You make me want to explode on contact? I think it might be taken the wrong way. Fuck.
Yes! Oh, adding slow motion to defeat is so much cooler than just falling over. You know, there's a weird glitch, or not a glitch, but like a poor performance problem with the original Dark Souls. And if you die to a curse, it creates so many particle effects that the game drops down to about 5 frames a second. So you die, and for some reason it stretches out your death sequence because it's 5 frames a second. So you're watching this horrid...
Oh, so it does every frame still?
Like horror, yeah, like a slideshow. I was like, this is fun.
5 frames a second is actually so unwatchable.
It is. 12.
That's a flip book.
It is, yeah. 12. It's slower than a flip book. Like when people do that, like a notepad, that's like probably like it's at least 12. You need 12 frames per second. It's the minimum for motion.
12.
12.
And then 24 is the standard?
24 is the standard for animation in most cases. But then you have things like Ori and the Blind Forest, where you have certain elements run at 60 and certain elements run at 24 or 30. 30 is a standard. 30 or 60 are video game standards. And then there's weird things like Shank, where it feels like it's running at 60, but the amount of animation is probably only 24 or 30.
Just because...
I don't know. I guess they're trying to go for a comic book style. I don't know.
I really like the way Shank feels.
Oh, me too. And the second one felt so much better than the first.
I definitely prefer when they improve the second game.
It's such an apt statement. Like, I enjoy when games are better.
Well, we're playing a game whose predecessor was not as good, and we're also playing Crackdown right now, whose predecessor was not as good. Descendant, I guess.
Successor?
Successor, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Like, you're your first game is your chance to establish what it is you're intending, and then from there you should try to either improve or move more towards that.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
A perfect example. How did they say it? It was worded extremely well.
It was the best response to viewer criticism.
Yeah, a triumph. Yeah,
a triumph over viewer criticism.
And they listened to people. Everyone said, even the people that I knew in high school who played it, everybody said it's the same 3 things over and over again, followed by assassinations. And then they went, okay, you want more things to do, and then they did it. It was amazing. Although Assassin's Creed will never be as good as the original demo that they showed. It was so much more contextual and intelligent. The gameplay was so much smarter and cooler in the original demo for the original game.
Seriously?
Which I think it was like, it might have actually been too long after. It might have been a year or 2 before the game actually came out, because I remember a guy showing me that, and I was like, this is going to be the best fucking thing ever. And then when I got it, I was impressed because it was the first 360 game I ever had, so I was like, the graphics! And now when you look at it, it's like, this was pretty cool. And it was one of the first games that came up with that style of climbing and parkour, and it inspired a lot of games after that.
It did. Like, Mirror's Edge is probably partially a direct result.
Not Dead Island. It was the game that came out after. It was made by the same people. Fuck. Anyway, it's got parkour and zombies. That's all you need to know.
It's the parkour zombie game.
Parkour.
Zomkour?
No. Oh, one of my favorite Russian Badger punny titles is he had an episode about Spider-Man, and he called it Peter Parkour.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. What the fuck were we talking about?
We've been talking about a lot of stuff.
I forgot though. I had a point and I didn't finish it.
I think I'm just focusing on trying to fuck people up.
We'll stop focusing.
Yeah, it's weird that you like you're trying to maintain 2 things, and usually it's like, you know, can you walk and talk at the same time? Yeah, of course. But certain things, certain times, just not so easy. I love how fast this folds when I kill this guy.
Yeah. Just like, nope. That's the Family Guy effect.
Yeah, the 1-frame transitions.
Which is brilliant, actually. They may have actually come up with that as a technical limitation, especially in the early days where they almost got canceled. No, they did get canceled.
They got canceled for a whole year.
Yeah, and it was
like part of the joke.
I love that joke. I think it was the 100th episode. He did a thing where he like sits down in like it's like he looks like not Hugh Jackman, the other Hugh.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. I was really hoping
the other Hugh.
The other Hugh.
I was like Hugh Laurie, Hugh Grant.
Oh. What's the name of the guy who played Brian? Oh, Bryan Cranston. Why did I call him Hugh?
I don't know. I thought you were talking about the house.
Interesting. I've already forgotten what we're talking about again.
I'm gonna see if I can kill this.
I allowed digress is a pretty common theme here on the show. Oh yes, it was that. This show, this format, is a combination of commentary and gameplay. In fact, in the early days before it was called Let's Plays, they were called gameplay commentary, in brackets. And I always forget that. I'm always doing this thing where I'm like, we need to get to the game. Like when we were in the menus and stuff, like, oh, I gotta get back to the game. And then I remember there's also us. And there's times where I'm thinking we're not saying enough. And then I remember, oh, there's also a game. And I remind myself of these things because I watch these shows. And I find it all the time where I'll be watching an episode of Us and actually be very interested, but remember that in the moment that we were recording it, I thought, well, this isn't interesting.
Yeah, some things just don't sound as good. Well, you're ruining the ambiance by actually being in the room.
That's
right?
true.
When it's seen by the viewer, it's a prepackaged form. We've talked about this so many times. The viewers are like, we get it, it's prepackaged. But it just really does add up when you're looking at all the internal components. It's like ripping apart a computer. It doesn't make it nearly as impressive anymore.
No, you would have a hard time running a computer just on a CPU.
Oh my god, I haven't destroyed this final one?
No, man.
Totally thought I
The
did.
jammers are... Kool-Aid is a
Oh, I destroyed an anti-air vehicle. This is what I destroyed.
Nice.
I was wondering why the diamond wasn't coming out.
Kool-Aid is never gonna go, and I don't think they're ever gonna die, because there's always gonna be kids.
I follow your logic, sort of.
A restaurant owner opens because people gotta eat.
See, that's true, but what if people don't always eat? You know, we say, like, people are always gonna have to eat, and, you know, like, people are always gonna need a plumber. Are you sure about that? What happens when the first guy that makes a toilet that fucking zaps your poo into another dimension?
Oh,
no more plumbers.
Where does the shit go?
Yo, there'd be huge conspiracy theories, you know? Someone would be like, that's why my city's so shit.
Yeah.
They're just dumping all their crap here with their interdimensional portals. But also, like, people really aren't necessarily always gonna eat. Like, what happens if people switch over to insect protein?
Insect protein. I think people probably thought, like,
Why the grenade doesn't do anything to him?
people are always gonna need a blacksmith.
That's a good point. I'm sure people said that at some point.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you need a blacksmith? Someone's gotta make your stuff. No one ever thought, oh, maybe there's gonna be factories with big machines that do it for us.
I believe that one day interplanetary travel will become so easy that we will have entire planets that are dedicated to a certain climate. Like just an entire like a vacation planet.
So instead of going to Florida, you go to like Omicron 5.
No, you go to Planet Florida.
Or well, yeah, whatever.
or Planet Florida, sorry.
Planet Florida.
And that's not a ridiculous idea because in 1980, when people were walking around with a briefcase with binary codes in it so that they could run a room that was referred to as a computer, there was somebody at that time who said, one day computers will be so easy to make, everyone will have one in their pocket. And somebody called them crazy. And look at us now.
That is a very good point. And also you think about, all it took was automation. Automation is probably the most powerful thing that's ever been done.
Yeah.
Right, just the ability to do something, or sorry, set something up and then have it done X number of times. Like,
It's like what happens when when I say, thank you for joining us. You just assume, like I'm sure people have heard thank you when we're not trying to end the episode and they thought the episode was ending, because I've already done that.
or you just say thank you and you're like, oh, no.
I've been editing videos and one of us says thank you for something, and I jump to the mouse to put in the end credit.
That's so funny, because actually it's probably harder for you. Most people get, it's like, oh, there's 3 minutes left. That's not the end.
Yeah.
Alright. We did it. We did it. Thank you for joining us.
Oh shit, okay. I guess we're gonna show people the thing while we talk about the thing. That's
While we
nice.
do the thing. Yeah, you're gonna get all kinds of messed up.